One of the viewers on the channel who is a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog requested a video on the Blue Blur himself. That sounds like fun. So what we're gonna do is break down the pixel art and design decisions that make the Sonic series Sonic. I'm gonna take what I learned from that and apply it to an existing non-Sonic character, and then I'm gonna take all that to design 2 new characters who can fit within the Sonic world. By the end of the video, we will have learned not only how to design a Sonic character, but also a little bit more about character design as a whole. Let's do it. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Robinson of Robinson Pixels. I decided to focus on Sonic Mania specifically for this video, because I feel like that game best captures the nostalgia of the series while also using modern techniques. The classic Genesis era Sonic could only have a max of 15 colors per sprite, plus 1 for transparency. In Sonic Mania, he's got 18, so we know they weren't worried about color limits. Now before I actually started designing new stuff, I actually took a whole bunch of different Sonic sprites and chopped them up and Frankensteined them back together into something new. So I took this kind of squatting sprite, this one with his head turned, this mouth, this hand, and I combined them all together. He's still missing one other hand, of course, so I drew that one completely from scratch. And ta-da! I really do think it's always helpful to actually start practicing that way, just to get your feet wet so you really kind of start getting a grasp of what you're even trying to do. But what I'm trying to do is a lot more fun than that, so let's get started in Act 1, Adapting Sonic Style. Confession time, I have not played much Sonic, and that's partly because I didn't have a Sega growing up, and it's also really partly because I spent a lot of time playing Jazz Jackrabbit on the PC. I knew at the time they were both really fast forest creatures, but I didn't know how much Jazz was, inspired by Sonic. The manual for Jazz Jackrabbit 1 actually has a comic in it with Sonic the Hedgehog in there threatening to sue, so like, you know. Let's go ahead and see what Jazz would look like in Sonic style. First, I made this lineup of characters from Sonic Mania, along with the sprites of Jazz himself from Jazz Jackrabbit 1 and 2. I want to make sure my Jazz not only matches Sonic's vibe, but also the cast of characters as a whole. And to help with that, I'll be liberally borrowing colors from their palettes, especially from this, duck? Okay, Bean the Dynamite is a woodpecker. I'm drawing Jazz a little shorter than Sonic. Now, I partly did that to account for his ears, so he doesn't look giant. You may have noticed I've got Jazz's feet facing opposite directions, and that's not how they draw Sonic. And that was a judgment call that I justified by examining the feet on this, wolf? Knack the Weasel, who I guess is part wolf? Knack's feet face opposite and are also very large, so that's enough to say it'll work here with Jazz. Now, I am giving Jazz his gun. I figure if Shadow can use guns, they still belong in this universe. I'm keeping it at a perfect 45-degree angle, because that's the easiest with pixel art, plus that'll keep it out of the way of his floppy ears. One of the reasons I like Sonic Mania's sprite so much is that the colors have a lot of strong contrast. That being said, you gotta have a lot of patience with sprites like this. The more colors you use, and this one has a lot, the longer it's gonna take. I clocked in at about 2.5 hours just on this one sprite. But hey, I think this is pretty close to what he might look like if he popped up into Sonic's world. Granted, he doesn't look like a local, so let's fix that. Let's give him some gloves. Almost everyone here has big ol' white gloves, so that's what we'll go with. And let's give him some shoes. His brother Spaz wears blue boots, so I figure this way they'll match. I also figure Jazz hates wearing so much clothing since he's not used to it, so let's halfway close his eyelids. Yeah! Now instead of Jazz Jackrabbit, he's Jazz the Jackrabbit. Now that we're working with this art style, let's kick it up a notch in Act 2, Original Character. I felt like there was no real way to know that I was understanding Sonic style unless I went the true Sega route, which is to design a character who basically looks just like Sonic, but isn't, and is also a furry woodland creature, but you can barely tell. And here's what I mean. Sonic, how do you know he's a hedgehog? Well, those are quills. Knuckles, he's an echidna because of the dreads. Ray, he's a flying squirrel, which you can tell because this is definitely a squirrel tail. Mighty, he's an armadillo that's a shell. Bark, this is a polar bear. You know how you know it's a polar bear? Because it's big Sonic. So let's make our own character who's not Sonic, but also has his own unique physical trait. They've already got beavers and porcupines and Tenrex, but they do not have a brush-tailed rabbit rat. Let me know in the comments what non-Sonic lore animal you would have gone with. Here we go. This dude's gonna be purple, so he'll look good in the lineup of main characters. And I am drawing him at a very similar size to Sonic. I feel like I just have to say this all the time. I know it looks bad right now, okay? Just roll with it. You know, like how Sonic rolls. I wanted a unique animal specifically so it could have a unique trait that I designed. Brush-tailed rabbit rats have big ears, naturally, but also look at their tails. They got a big poofy floofy thing. That is right for character design picking. I drew in a rough version for now and kept trucking forward. I'm fighting against my instincts here. Sonic's leg is only 2 pixels wide. I allowed Jazz to have thicker legs because that's how his character is designed. But here, I'm really fully trying to match that style. Same reason I'm going ahead and shading him without any extra clothes or accessories. I like to draw those, but most characters in this world don't have them. I had his tail going down at first, but then I noticed that Knack and Tails both have their tails swoop upward. So I did the same, and I felt that really helped it start coming together. Notice how I've got this character, well, actually it's probably time to give him a name, so he'll be Solomon the Brush-Tailed Rabbit Rat. Anyway, notice how Solomon's head is very shiny, but his tail poof is not? That's because I was taking into account the textures here. Poofy balls of fur are usually not shiny. I will say I hated Solomon's head. It just felt weird until I gave him a little hair poof on top. I think it helps balance out the visual weight just a bit since his silhouette is so back heavy. Now, like the other characters, Solomon gets some bunched up socks and red shoes. You'll notice the background is switching to black here, and I did that on Jazz a couple times too. Sometimes I like to change things up while I'm drawing so my eyes don't get too used to the image. That makes it a bit more likely you'll see errors that need attention. After a few more adjustments, we've got a completed non-Sonic woodland creature. But what about a different sort of creature that's not so inspired by Sonic and also not a rabbit? Let's make it weird in Act 3, the fish. So I used to have this beta fish named Jack. He was my best friend for a little while, and now he died, but he gets to live again right here in Sonic Land. I'm going into this knowing only 2 things. I want him to be shorter than the other characters because Jack was my little buddy, and I'm also going to represent his fin as a badass mohawk. It became clear pretty quickly that Jack was still a little too tall, so I squished him down, and also I was getting tired of drawing fists, so I brought over Tails as body so I could have a new hand reference. Of all the characters I've drawn so far, Jack most clearly has a mono eye, the same way that Sonic doesn't actually have like 2 separate eyes. In this case, I think it makes him look a little extra cute. As for the shading, most Sonic characters tend to be shiny, but since this one's a fish, I made sure to give him way more shine than the rest. Now it turns out there are already fish characters in the Sonic comics, because of course there are. The only thing I don't really like about their designs is their feet. They're too much like mammals for me. So Jack is getting flippers instead. I think that's silly and also more practical for a fish. And that's it! We've gone from Frankensteining Sonic to fan art to a Sonic-like character to a little weirdo. Y'all let me know if you have any other games you'd like me to study. This video is part of a series where I go in and explore the art styles of different games and see what all I can learn. In the most recent one, I took a lot of different HD modern gaming elements and applied those to what a Mega Man game could look like. So if that sounds interesting to you, check out this video right over here and follow along for more pixel practice. And then we'll design 2 completely unique characters who have never been seen in any. We're gonna make 2 new ones. This video is part of a series where I go in and explore the art styles. Yarr.